Today I'm going to show you how to change the brakes on a 2004 Buick LeSabre. If you look down here, it's my grandfather's 2004. The rotor is destroyed, but we're not going to be changing that today. This is basically just a how-to to change yours if you need to. So let's get started.
Okay.
First things you're going to need to do is take the tire off and put the lug nuts somewhere where you can remember where they are. I cheated and I used an impact gun. This is a used one. You can pick them up fairly cheap on eBay. The socket I'm using, yes, I know it's not a impact one, but it gets the job done for this. It's 3/4 or 19 mil. So once you get the tire off, you're going to be able to see what I see here. And then to get there's one bolt, not up top, but down bottom here in the back. That is going to be a 12 millimeter. I don't know if you're able to see that or not. Let's give you a 12 mil. And right now I'm just using tools that I have available. These are not mine, these are my dad's. But so what you can do is you can take this out, and then you should be able to flip your caliper up and slide it off. It might be a little tricky because your emergency brake is part of the caliper. So these ones you don't push back, but rather you turn them back, and I'll get to that in a little bit. So let me go ahead and get this taken off, and I'll be back with you. Okay, so as you can see, I got the caliper up, and there's only, just like I said, just that one bolt. When you have this up, you want to just check and make sure your sliders are free. I've got a feeling this caliper is kind of worn out, so that's why it's doing this. But after that, you're just going to basically slide this right off the post up top. And you can see I'm having a little trouble here because of this silly old e-brake. You see right here, normal calipers like in the front, you just get like a C-clamp, just push that back. This one you got to turn back, which you can't really do by hand. So they have special tools for those. You can use that tool, or you can just use a pair of channel line pliers. But as you can see, the one pad has already fallen out. I'll put this up somewhere. It's not going to put too much tension on your brake cable or your brake hose or your e-brake cables, really, either way. So I'm going to set this up here the best I can. So yeah, that is pretty bad. And like I said, you should technically replace the rotor too, but we've been here once before and they were shot then, so the same basic concept. So I took the hardware clips out thinking that was a problem, but there will be clips here that hold your pads into place on a normal basis. So this one here is uneven wear. So as I said, these are ones we did replace probably a few months ago, and they're pretty bad. The parts that we're going to be using, I'm not sponsored by Duralast, but I like Duralast from AutoZone, lifetime warranty. The part number is MKD508. This applies for a lot of your GM cars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting the new pads in and putting it all back together. We'll be turning that back, and once I get the caliper turned back, I'll be back with you. Just a quick reminder. This is the chirper, let you know when the pads are getting low when you step on the brakes. On a normal situation, when you step on the brakes, the pad will go in, and this will just tap the rotor and make it a little chirp or squeal when you're the entire time you're on brakes. It'd be great if I could talk. That's how you know when your pads are getting low. This most generally goes on the inside. Don't want to put it on the outside because it's just going to be issues. Sometimes they'll fit, sometimes they won't. As you can see, this one will, but it ain't going to do its job if it's on the outside. So the chirper, or this little metal tab, goes on the inside. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just taking a pair of vice grips. It's not orthodox, but it does get the job done. If you're in a pinch, or if you're a DIYer like myself, just use what you have. Yes, you could probably rent those tools from AutoZone, or you can get them cheap. But hey, I'm a cheapskate. I use what I have. If I could do it by hand without using a tool, I'll do it that way, because this is just downright a pain. But what you're gonna do is just basically get it down here. Come on. And just turn it. Not like that. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get this as flush as you can back to the caliper, because that'll allow you to be able to put the caliper back on and slide it down onto the pads. Another thing while you're here is you want to check your slider. Make sure that's working. As you can see, the boot's shot here. Just kind of grease this all up if you have all the grease. Granted, we don't. And honestly, I don't feel this car's going to last too much longer. It'll still work. It'll still get the job done. It'll still stop. It's just... this has got to be done like now. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this all back, and I'll be back with you. Okay, so as you can see, I got the caliper back on. It's simple. Like this. Line it up. Careful your boot. You slide it on, slide it in, make sure everything's in place, and that's it. I'm going to grab my bolt. You should probably put like an anti-seize on this so it doesn't lock in there. That's an option. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back in and tighten it back up. Now whenever you do any brakes, whether it be one side, both sides, or all four, whatever, before you go anywhere, step on the brake, pump up. It'll probably go to the floor. Don't panic. Don't worry. It's not going to fail as long as the brakes pump up and actually get firm. So, put the back on. Tighten the bolt back up. Okay, that's pretty much it. You just put the tire back on, pump up the brakes, put it back down. And if you like the video, do a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more.